This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're at Campbell, the boxing club, public workout here for a co-league in Shislak, also featuring on the bill, Mr. Campbell Hatton. How are you, mate?
Good as gold.
How are you after last week?
I'm all good. How were you after last week?
Oh!
You had a few last week, son, hadn't you, no?
I had one lemonade. Back in action, back in the UK fighting, so how are you feeling?
Yeah, really excited. Get the year kicked off and hopefully be able to be as busy this year as I was last.
We spoke about this in our last interview, that kind of that experience you had abroad kind of benefited you and kind of maybe got a little bit of your confidence back and shown people a little bit more about what you're about.
Yeah, definitely. I just went in there and just got on with it, didn't have to think about anything, wasn't over eager to put a good show on, and I put my best performance in just because of that, I think, and taking that mindset into all the fights now. I've seen the difference when I'm relaxed, and I'd be stupid to go back to doing the old thing where I'm forcing things.
Has the criticism on your son been harsh, or just people's opinion, in your opinion?
No, I think they were harsh. I mean, I think he won the fight. You know what I mean? I think he wanted it more. I think he threw more. Yeah, maybe that lad did the better quality, but it was a real nip and tuck, but I thought he won it. It's my job to tell him if I didn't think he'd won it, that he didn't. But, you know, big occasion, did get to him, you know what I mean? And even fights before that, I'd said to Campbell, you know, I felt like he was a little bit too bullet a gate, wasn't thinking about his attacks, you know what I mean? Not looking where he's placing the shots, throwing shots when there's no openings and stuff like that, which we spoke about. But after all the stick and abuse he got, his next fight, he put it the whole lot right. You know what I mean? He had a big build up in Gibraltar. You know what I mean? We've got past that now. You know what I mean? He fought on the AJ Bill. I'd never fought in a crowd that big. Never mind him. He's got through that. He's had a load of stick on social media. He's got through that. And after all that he's had on his shoulders, his last fight was his best performance. And never mind, as his manager, as a dad, that shows that my son can take whatever life has got to give him and go through it and continue to just keep his eye on the prize. And that's what he's doing. When we're talking about, searching for the target, slowing things down, looking for it. We don't want to go back to them old days now. You know what I mean? That's the way forward. And I think I speak for Matthew, his trainer, and we're expecting another good performance on Sunday. Yeah.
When someone is critical on social media, that's one thing. But obviously, your dad and Matthew are entitled to have their opinion. I'm sure you kind of think, well, that's how it is, and you need to listen to them. But I'm sure you take that on board.
Yeah, I take everyone's opinion on board. I listen to all the advice that comes my way, and I think it weren't a great performance. Like my dad said, I do think I won the fight as well, but I made a lot harder work of it than I needed to, and I think I did that in all my fights before then. I think each one I was forcing things, and like my dad's saying, a bit bullet a gate where I weren't thinking about the quality side of things, and not to that extent as we saw at Spurs, but I think like the penny dropped over in Spain, and I think it took a quiet show for that to happen, but there's no going backwards now, because I don't want to come away from fights where I'm coming away with a win and being disappointed and not wanting to show my face and that, so I'm not going through that again.
Well, before he turned pro, did you anticipate, as his dad, the attention that would really be on him? It's difficult for you to answer that because your career was what it is, but you should have obviously expected that attention to be positive and negative to certain aspects.
I anticipated that. That it could be.
Hold on. Yeah, it's all right.
I anticipated that it could be. That there could be a lot of attention and stuff like that, and I think Eddie had said the same, and Matthew. I think we're on an agreement. Yeah, when he goes pro, it's going to be absolutely massive. But I'm not complaining about. The build-up was great. He was on breakfast morning shows. He had a documentary about himself. Yeah, it was brilliant. I wouldn't change it for the world. He's boxed on big cards. His debut in Gibraltar was massive. He's been chucked in proper at the deep end, and no blame on my part, no blame on everyone's part. But I think now with been able to sit back, look at it, you know, and think to ourselves, listen, we still want him to be on the big shows for his exposure, but, you know, we put him on the big shows and put him on a few little shows and, you know, keep it like that. I think we've all learned that that's probably the best way to do things. But I mean, the pressure he was on in them opening few fights of his career, they're only going to stand him in good stead. And look, you know what he did after all that shit and all that pressure. Look what he did in his last fight, and that speaks volumes, you know, for me. I think, you know, they should. You know, we've got to set the positives for him. Yeah, maybe it was a little bit of a too big of a build-up for him, but I tell you what, it's worked in his favour now, as far as I'm concerned.
Did you say you're not to blame? Did you say I'm not to blame?
No, I mean, no one to blame, you know what I mean?
I think you're to blame.
You'll be getting knocked the fuck out in a minute, you know, shut up. No, but you know what I mean? I think a lot of people say, oh, we shouldn't be having that bigger build-up and this and that, and you know, when I look back now, I think, well, maybe not, but it was good, but I mean, it helped get his fan base up, you know what I mean? It created the interest in him, so it's like a catch-22. You don't know whether you've done right for doing wrong and that, but I think the main thing is, I think we've all as a team learned from it. I know that, yeah, put him on show on the big stage and then put him on a few little smaller shows just under the radar a little bit so he can learn and I think you know, but the main thing is he's learned from it, and that's showed in his last performance, and that's why if he can, with all the stick he's had and the big shows and all the big build up and all that, if he had his best performance last time out, so it's not affected him that much, has it?
Do you agree with what you had to say?
100%. I think I'd rather not have got all that stick, obviously, but going forward, it is a bit like a bit of a safety net, really, now, where as a fighter, the challenges are going to get loads harder as my career goes on, but I know nothing's going to top the shit I was getting off people because of that fight, and I know nothing's going to top the pressure I was under on that show, so going forward, I can just relax now and enjoy things, because I know I've been up against it with things like that and I've come through the other side, so just concentrate on my boxing now.
this
Well, Sunday, the 27th of February, we'll see a little bit more in your progression.
They put the roof on it and the show put the roof back on.
You should have helped with that roof.
I believe
that he might fit in now.
No, not gonna. I believe the roof fell off and it was right above fucking Nando's. So, you know, let's get it back. Let's get the roof back on. You do the business and let's have a Nando's.
Final one. What do you make about, or make of, shall we say, about your dad's proposed comeback?
Go on, I'll let you get on.
I want your opinion. Ask him about it.
I'm up for it. You know, I haven't heard anything yet. I've read about it, but you know, I always said after the first one, Tyson Jones won it. You know, would you do it, Rick? I've always said yes. So if the phone rings, I'd look at it definitely.
I think a few weeks of training don't do anyone any harm.
A few weeks, you fucking mum.
So you'd be supporting him if he decided to, whether it's an exhibition, which we're assuming it would be, Ricky.
I won't allow anything else. Exhibition. I know my limits.
You'd be supportive.
Yeah, with anything he did, I'd be supportive of it. Yeah.
You ain't got.
Then, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just checking. Yeah. You ain't got to worry about him coming down to your weight. Don't worry about it.
Jesus, never seen it.
I've come down to your fucking weight.
All right, listen, we wish you the best of luck on Sunday. Good to see you fighting back in the UK. It feels weird to say that after only a few fights, but looking forward to seeing you back in action, and we'll catch up with you after the fight. Have you got anything else you'd like to say, Campbell?
Tune in, because it's going to be I'm hoping to carry on from last time, and this been my best performance yet.
And have you got anything else you'd like to say, Ricky?
No, I'm sorted, mate. Yeah, Nando's.